The Knicks tonight, NBA draft. They pick 8th. The feeling is it's going to be the French kid, Frank Ntilikina, who came into town, not yesterday, but I think 2 days ago. And he's had to go back to play for his team in the French league, the French Basketball League finals. Do you like the fact that he stayed playing with his team as late as he possibly could instead of coming in here early? He could have been working out for some teams doing the draft process. He came in just in time to do the media day, which was yesterday. He's here for the draft, and he's going back Friday afternoon. As an athlete, do you like the fact that he stays with his team, goes through the finals, or do you think because it's a draft process, you only do this once, it would have been okay for him to come over here earlier?
No, I like the fact that he's staying with his team, and I'm sure his teammates and his coaching staff were probably like of the opinion that he should come here and obviously experience it. But I think for him, I mean, when you go through what he's gone through with his teammates through the entire season, now you're in a position to win a championship. That's probably most important to him right now. I mean, listen, our team's going to hold it against him.
I would think not,
no.
right?
I mean, they might actually like it.
Right.
I mean, I like the fact that De'Aaron Fox was crying after they lost.
Loved it.
As opposed to what Lonzo Ball did.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you got to look at stuff like that. I mean, I was listening to
how much did that play in your draft? I mean, how much does that stuff? We talk about talent, we talk about all the analytics that we throw into this stuff too. We see it in the NFL draft. How many times these guys talk about crazy questions that they're asked, their things about their character. I mean, how many players have slipped in the draft because of character issues and character concerns? I mean, is that the biggest thing when it comes to a draft, especially now more than maybe it was 17 years ago for you?
Well, listen, I think
years, by the way. Wow.
Make me feel old.
I think me too.
But I think especially now with social media and everything else, is that I'm at the point where you're a top 5 pick or a top 10 pick. Athletically, you're probably pretty similar to most of the guys in the top 10, right? Like, I mean, you may do things better than a certain player, but at the end of the day, your skill set is pretty comparable.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you're in a situation as a general manager, if you're going to make that kind of commitment, like if you have one of those top picks and you're a general manager, your clock starts when that pick starts playing.
True.
Especially in the NFL, with a quarterback especially.
Yep.
So you want to make damn sure that you're making the right decision, because what's going to separate that guy, what's going to make that guy great as opposed to just good, is going to be his work ethic, his personality, how much he cares about winning, the people around him. Like, all those things go into it. And if you identify early on, like I was listening to Dan Dawkins this morning on Mike and Mike, and they asked him about Josh Jackson. And he had some things going on, off the court that were cause for concern.
Right.
And I'm sure there's plenty of people that will overlook that because they like his size, his talent, his ability to defend and everything else. And Dan said, listen, I mean, I've only coached one kid that was one and done, and that was Eric Gordon. And he said, great kid, but the kid realized that he went to school for one reason and one reason only, is because he had to and he wanted to be in the NBA. So he realized early on that he had to make sure he went to class. He did all those things because he didn't want it to affect the next level where he was going to actually be doing this for a living and get paid to do it. Like, there's too much money at stake. There's too many people's livelihoods at stake for you to blame just being a kid on making bad decisions.
Right.
Because you're still going to be a kid playing and being paid all that money.
Right.
So if I'm making that decision and my livelihood is predicated on your success, you better check all the boxes, and it's not just on the court. It better be away from the court too.